In a bustling city filled with towering buildings and honking cars, there was a little girl named Ava. She had big dreams, an infectious laugh, and a heart full of kindness. Her parents, who were renowned for their warmth and generosity, had raised her to be a compassionate and caring individual. They often told her that treating others the way you want to be treated was a mantra to live by, and Ava took these words to heart. "Oh, look at Thomas," she said with a smirk. "He looks so funny with his glasses hanging like that." During class, she would often whisper rude comments about their teachers to her friends, which made Ava uncomfortable. Have you ever had a friend who made fun of others? Let us know in the comments below how you handled it. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more stories like this. While Ava was focused on her artwork, Sophie leaned over to a nearby student and whispered something in his ear. As Ava turned to listen, she heard Sophie say, "Just copy what I did last week. You don't want to get a bad grade, do you?" Disappointed, Ava shook her head. Daniel, already feeling self-conscious, started crying and ran out of the cafeteria. As Ava watched him leave, she felt a pang of sympathy and realized that Sophie's behavior had gone too far. When their teacher, Mrs. Williams, turned to Sophie and asked her to repeat what she had said, Sophie quickly apologized, claiming she had been joking. His sorrowful eyes haunted her, and she felt terrible for laughing at him. Suddenly, her mother entered the bathroom and asked, "What's wrong, sweetheart?" Ava hesitated for a moment, but then poured out her heart to her mother, telling her about Daniel and Sophie's cruel behavior. But we've been best friends since forever," she stammered. "I know, but our friendship isn't healthy," Ava said softly. "Being friends shouldn't hurt people. We should make each other feel good, not bad. If you want to be my friend, you need to treat others with kindness and respect." This incident left Ava feeling puzzled and slightly uneasy. Although she was disappointed that Ava had ended their friendship, she knew that it was for the best. They played together at recess, helped each other with homework, and most importantly, treated everyone with kindness and respect. Daniel, who had recovered from the incident, also became part of their group. They both had grown into remarkable young women, each with a strong sense of values and a compassionate heart. Ava continued to cherish the friendships she had formed based on mutual respect and kindness. And Sophie, who had learned from her past mistakes, strived to be a positive influence on those around her. He was grateful for Ava's apology and appreciated her for standing up to Sophie. Ava had shown her the importance of treating others with empathy and compassion, something that Sophie had been lacking. Confused, Ava asked, "What does that mean?" However, she was nervous about confronting her friend and worried about how Sophie might react. She started volunteering at a local charity, helping out at animal shelters, and participating in community cleanup drives. She had finally understood the true meaning of friendship and the importance of treating others with love and respect. "Can I talk to you?" she asked. Sophie, surprised by the seriousness in Ava's voice, agreed. They sat down on a nearby bench and Ava began, "You know, I've been thinking about what you said to Daniel yesterday. No one deserves to be treated that way. It wasn't okay to laugh at him like that." Still, she knew that she couldn't continue being friends with someone who treated others so poorly. "I was just joking," she said with a shrug. "But it's not funny to joke about someone's feelings," Ava replied. "And besides, it's not nice to call people names or make fun of them behind their backs. I don't want to be friends with someone who does that. A toxic friendship is like a poisonous plant," her mother explained gently. "It may seem attractive from a distance, but once you get too close, it hurts you." Ava thought about this and realized that her mother was right. Ava turned to see Thomas, a boy with thick glasses and a shy demeanor, trying to fix his crooked spectacles. "Let's run away," Sophie whispered to Ava with a mischievous grin. And without hesitation, they both burst into laughter. She noticed that whenever one of their classmates achieved a good grade or received praise from their teachers, Sophie would always find a way to belittle their accomplishment. She wanted to be part of the popular crowd and feared that if she confronted Sophie, she would lose her only friend. Daniel, a boy known for his clumsiness, sat at a nearby table with a ketchup stain spreading across his white shirt. He has so much ketchup on his shirt, it looks like he spilled his entire bottle. Without hesitation, Ava and Sophie burst into laughter. So she decided to keep quiet and hope that Sophie would eventually change her ways. For example, when young James won first place in the school's spelling bee, Sophie mocked him by saying, well, Mr. No, it all took first place. I guess brains and beauty go together. These hurtful comments made Ava feel ashamed, and she began questioning whether she could continue being friends with Sophie. As Ava grew older, she began attending Sunnyside Elementary School, where she quickly made friends. One sunny afternoon after school, Ava was playing on the swings when suddenly a new girl named Sophie approached her. They shared their favorite toys, swapped lunch boxes, and talked about everything under the sun. Sophie was beautiful with long flowing hair and a radiant smile. She was also popular among the other kids and seemed to have a lot of fun everywhere she went. Ava, although confused, decided not to question it further. Later, while sharing their stacks under the shade of a tree, Ava couldn't help but express her confusion. "Why did we laugh at Thomas?" she asked Sophie. "We can't tell him, but he has really thick glasses and looks funny," Sophie replied with a giggle. "I don't think it's funny," Ava said softly. For Ava, Sophie became her role model, someone she looked up to and wanted to be more like. "Hi, can I join you?" Sophie asked with a warm smile. Ava, always welcoming, replied, "Of course." And that marked the beginning of their friendship. Over the next few weeks, Ava and Sophie became inseparable. One day during recess, while Ava and Sophie were playing tag with their friends, Sophie suddenly stopped. However, when they caught sight of Thomas looking at them sadly, their laughter subsided and Sophie quickly changed the subject. Days turned into weeks, and as time passed, Ava started noticing some concerning behaviors in Sophie. On another occasion, during art class, Ava and Sophie were working on a painting project. With each passing day, Ava found herself becoming increasingly troubled by Sophie's actions. Despite her internal struggle, Ava couldn't help but feel drawn to Sophie. One day during lunch break, Ava and Sophie were eating their food when suddenly Sophie turned to Ava and said, "Look at Daniel." "It sounds like you're describing a toxic friendship, my dear." However, before they knew it, several other students joined in, making fun of Daniel and poking him with their fingers. That night, while brushing her teeth, Ava couldn't shake off the image of Daniel crying. Her mother listened patiently, and when Ava finished speaking, she said, determined to do something about it, Ava knew that she had to talk to Sophie. The next day at school, Ava took a deep breath and walked up to Sophie. Sophie, taken aback by Ava's sudden confrontation, tried to defend herself. Tears welled up in Sophie's eyes and she began to cry. Sophie, still crying, nodded her head in understanding. As the days went by, Ava started spending time with new classmates who shared her values. Meanwhile, Sophie realized the error of her ways and began making positive changes. Years went by and Ava and Sophie, although no longer best friends, occasionally bumped into each other at school events. Their paths might have diverged, but the lessons they had learned during their childhood continued to shape their lives, reminding them of the profound impact of empathy, respect, and the true meaning of friendship. If you love this story, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more stories about real friendships and life lessons.